Warming to Benagil, runner-up to Treasure the Moment last time out, and plenty anticipate will go one better here. Currently heads the market at $3.30, firming throughout the course of the week after as much as $3.70 was on offer. Preliminary has been equally as popular, $6 into $4.80 through the week, $4.80 into $4.40 on race day. Then three other runners in single figures.
The Australasian Oak, set in the Australasian Oaks, and racing. Benagil, pretty slow away. She's going to settle back towards the tail as most expected. Cavity Bay, one of the first to appear. Phenom's also got some good speed with Beautiful Jewel, and Two Darn Lizzie's whipping up around them. All Kinds of Folk is also going forward with Cinch, and so too Comanche Miss as they settle fully into stride. There's plenty of puttering, and then Feminile. All Kinds of Folks at the 1200 metres is about 10 lengths from the speed. A length away, Pellavecchio from Benagil, fourth last. Preliminary third last. Half away to Horizons, and two back last of all is Moving Out. And Moving Out 16 lengths off Two Darn Lizzie. Two Darn Lizzie for Gay and Adrian leads 3/4 to Cinch. The pace has been solid. There are a couple of lengths on Comanche Miss on the outside of Phenom. Cavity Bay's had a good trek in the race with Beautiful Jewel. 2.5 to Wolfess, then Georgie, sweltering, Feminile, All Kinds of Folk, Pellavecchio, Benagil still 9 off them with Preliminary. And then a length and a half to Moving Out, and Horizons last of all. Business Time in the Australasian Oaks. And Two Darn Lizzie, 2 lengths under a good hold, shows the way. Cinch is under pressure. Getting past her now as they race up to the bend is Comanche Miss with Wolfess, and then All Kinds of Folk, Beautiful Jewel, Cavity Bay, Feminile. Benagil's cruising up wider out, and so too is Moving Out. Benagil quickly raced up at the 220, took the lead. Comanche Miss, Cavity Bay, then Moving Out. Further back, Two Darn Lizzie and Feminile. Benagil at the 100, clear from Cavity Bay. Getting out late, Preliminary, but Benagil, the gods have spoken. Benagil wins the Australasian Oaks. Preliminary or sweltering for the minors with Cavity Bay Moving Out, and Feminile close up, then Pellavecchio. Next in a tiring Two Darn Lizzie, followed at the head of the others by Wolfess, who finished in the second part of the field in company.
What a quality filly she is, Benagil. Runner-up in a Group 1 last start, makes amends today after bumping into a modern little champ in Treasure the Moment last start. Gun ride from Mark Zahra, at one stage giving 15 lengths to the leader. That didn't worry him. And now the story of the race will be Glenn Thompson. He's a Group 1 winning trainer. He was in partnership with the late, great Mike Moroney. And Mike looking, and Lizzie, Mark Zahra in a Group 1 doing Mark Zahra things.
Great ride, great training performance, super filly. I mean, also add to the fact that this filly has been up to Sydney as well, come back to Melbourne, across to South Australia, been presented in a brutally run race. It was on for young and old. I think that Two Darn Lizzie's actually ran okay considering how fast they were up on speed. But it really played into the hands of these back markers, and Benagil was too strong in the end. Preliminary was finding the line nicely as well, along with a couple of the others. Sweltering has actually finished second from the Trent Busselton and Natalie Young stable at the double figure odds. Preliminary in for third, and Cavity Bay in for fourth. But the absolute fairy tale is Glenn Thompson with his very first Group 1.
A lingy to launch what is a terrific race. And for Climbing Star, she's trying to do something that no filly or mare has ever done in the past, and that is win this race back to back. And I thought she was superb first up from a spell. And maybe minutes away, and in the 20 years that it has been a Group 1, the 4-year-old...
Say the least, Richo. We've got the King Charles Hero as for a drifting favourite. If you do like the star of South Australian sprint racing, you can now snap up $6.50 and the joint favourite with commemorative at that quote. Stretton Angel has been a firmer on race day 9 into $7.50. Climbing Star 7, Estriella 11, Charmstone a little bit soft today, $8.50 out to 10. A Little Deep 11, Aviatrix at 12. The chances don't end there. Terrific betting race and quite amazing.
Starter holds them. Now he lets them go. It was a patchy start. Roll on high and See You in Heaven. Slow to get going. Prairie Flower, Stretton Angel. Charmstone's gone back. Best Away was a little deep. And a little deep is going to push through and lead with Estriella. In close attendance, Osmar coming across. Asfura climbing Star Aviatrix. She's got pizzazz. A gap to Amina Commemorative. See You in Heaven. Then Stretton Angel. Two further back is Roll on High, who's third last with Charmstone, and Prairie Flowers last. 600 metres out. Osmar was able to cross and leads the way from Estriella and a little deep. Asfura, Aviatrix, she's got pizzazz. Climbing Star Commemoratives off the track, but we thought that she'd be out there. Then Amina as they come up to the bend and sweep into the stretch where Osmar turned in front with a margin. A length and a half, a little deep. Asfura, Estriella still nearer the inside and still in the hunt. Estriella belted through. A little deep. Asfura, Charmstone Commemorative, Charmstone Commemorative, Charmstone. Amina's darting through late. Charmstone with Amina. Charmstone narrowly from Amina with Commemorative close up in third, a little deep, and then Prairie Flower, Roll on High, Asfura, Estriella, Stretton Angel, followed by at the head of those a tiring Osmar, Climbing Star, Aviatrix, She's Got Pizzazz, and See You in Heaven.
A Group 1 genius is Mark Zahra. That's what he does. He does Mark Zahra things in big Group 1s. He takes a risk. Just when Amina burst up on the inside, Brett Davis, our caller, spotted her, and then down the outside was Charmstone. Commemorative will be third, but it is Charmstone. So for Mick Price and Michael Kent, they win another Group 1, and they do it with a terrific mare called Charmstone. She was an expensive mare, and I Am Invincible, who's first up from a spell, and Mark Zahra down the outside. Lizzie got to the sweet spot just when we were giving Amina a cheer up the inside.
Oh, I know. Great performance from the first two home. Have to really dissect that race.
First up, he's looking to go back to back to back. He's now out to $2.10. Headwall is absolutely flying. It's hard to believe he hasn't won a race this prep considering how well he's gone. He deserves a big victory. He's been $6.50 into $5.50. Front Page in the sports bet slot. Good luck to the team as well there. He's seen a little bit of support, $9 into $7.50, who takes out the Quokka. But it's Overpass, who's clearly the best back runner.
13 that are ready to race for $5 million. Let's have a look at the market. Overpass.
A moment of anticipation. Racing now with the Quokka though. Magnificent Andy dwelt from the inside. Overpass got out like a shot and beginning very quickly also roped them in as they settle down, coming across. Front Page soon after the start. They're going to pair off in front right behind those. Then going forward the 3-year-old West Star. Crescetti the Kiwi is next of all, but 3 deep outside the Boss Lady. Magnificent Andy, Western Empire, Generosity together. Further back Brave Spirit being followed by Headwall, who only had 2 behind him. Joker's Grin, Triple Missile. 600 metres left to go. Overpass leads the way. Front Page is up there running second before the home turn. Then 2 lengths away, rope them in on the inside of West Star. Crescetti's covered ground. Held up Magnificent Andy. The leaders have quickened at the 400 mark. And now Parr goes to work. Overpass straightens up. Wobbles off around the home corner. Takes Front Page with him. Further back is West Star. Magnificent Andy cuts the corner. Here comes Headwall down the outside. The Boss Lady. Overpass in front. Magnificent Andy. Headwall coming at them. Overpass gone. Down the outside. Joker's Grin. He's charging. They hit it. I think he might have got the winning hand. Joker's Grin has cut them all down from the back of the field, and one from Headwall. Generosity. Magnificent Andy for third. Overpass. His great record at Ascot comes to an end. Brave Spirit, West Star not far away from Rope Them In. Followed further back Triple Missile. And then came on pulling up Front Page and Crescetti, Western Empire and the... This will be a moment. The Quokka, for the first time, stays in WA. Joker's Grin in the Ladbroke Silks. Patrick Carberry, who has suffered the heartbreak of defeats in the race in 2 editions, today wins for his best mate, Bernie Miller. Joker's the first West Aussie to win the $5 million Kia Quokka, Joker's Grin, getting home to score, and has given his sire attaining almost super sire status after this victory. And what would be compared as a Group 1 on any given day, Joker's Grin stamps his class, his quality.
One's the Chairman's Sprint Prize. They are ready. All clear from the back. They're racing. He was about first away, Kaying Rising. Lucky With You went away with him. Pace also coming from Invincible Sage and drifted back from Satono Rave. And then came Lucky Swainess, Denon McKinley. Lugal second last and back to last from his wide draw, Helios Express. Magic Control leads a length over Victor, the winner. Invincible Sage third on the inside. Last year's winners having a very similar run. Co-partner Prance fourth and 2 lengths to Kaying Rising. He's yet to get moving. Purton comes to the outside now. He's 3 off the lead around Asian Fencer, Denon McKinley. Satono Rave is trying to follow Kaying Rising. Magic Control leads, but here he is. Kaying Rising at the 250. He swept 3 lengths in front of Magic Control, Satono Rave, and then came Invincible Sage. Helios Express runs on, but it's Kaying Rising. He does it with the grace and poise of another great sprinter. He's the Usain Bolt of the equine world. Kaying Rising beats Satono Rave. Helios Express has run a placing to him again. Then Invincible Sage, Lugal, co-partner Prance, Lucky Swainess, Magicu and Asian Fencer, and just stand back and enjoy it.
Is it relief? What's it like for you right now?
Relief. I get nervous with him. It's probably, I don't with my other horses, but I've never saddled up $0 chances in Group 1 races before. And it is a very different feeling, and it's great to have it. I wouldn't swap it for the world, but it is nerve-wracking.
Is that your lucky suit? Of my mail correct on that?
Yeah, it's going to have a bit of a spell now, but it's gone 8 times in a row. No, 12 times in a row now with this horse. And
what's next for Kaying Rising?
A spell, and then he'll be gradually built up. Probably come back into work in June, and all systems go towards the Everest. I think the Jockey Club will negotiate a slot in the next period, and I just want to show Australia how good he is.
Would you go first day? So can you now sit back, relax, and let the boys do their work with Mr. Brightside?
Yeah, I really enjoy that race a lot more than the last one, but.
Absolutely, Tom. Yeah, look, wonderful to have Mr. Brightside here. It's been sort of mentioned in dispatches down through the seasons that he might come for certain races, Paul. That hasn't happened.
It's very good to have him here, and he's drawn well, so he's going to get his opportunity in this race. Now, he's at 6.5 versus Voyage Bubble at 1.4. All the money's come for Voyage Bubble. I thought that'd be a lot closer in the market. My wish, obviously.
20s figures, so unless he gets terrible misfortune, he's going to be involved. Mr. Brightside's going to run huge. And my wish is the
racing in the Champions Mile, and Red Line and Voyage Bubble from Wide Gates both begin fast. On the inside is My Wish of Mr. Brightside, and then came Royal Patronage quickly spearing through the centre. The Grey Gaia Force wide from the fellow Grey Gomon. He's one off the fence from on the inside Beauty Eternal, and then came Happy Together. Next is Sunlight Power from Cheng Cheng Glory, Beauty Joy, and Galaxy Patch has gone back to last. Red Lion is the leader in the Classic Mile. He leads by a length and a half. Champions Mile, it's Red Lion leading over Voyage Bubble on the outside, and third is My Wish. Fourth is Royal Patronage from Gaia Force, and then came Beauty Eternal against the rail. A length away next is Mr. Brightside from Gomon 3 wide. Against the rail is Sunlight Power, and then came Happy Together. Next is Beauty Joy. He's racing down on the inside. And Cheng Cheng Glory and Galaxy Patch are the last two. Red Lion leads the way. 600 metres to go. 3/4 on the favourite Voyage Bubble. 3 wide Gaia Force. My Wish has had a terrific run fourth on the rail. Then came Royal Patronage. Gomon next from Beauty Eternal. Red Lion leads for home. Voyage Bubble's right there on his outside. 2 lengths to Little My Wish, and then came Gaia Force. Voyage Bubble and Red Lion square off for the moment. 2 lengths to My Wish. Then came Galaxy Patch. There's no Mr. Brightside. Red Lion's going the race of his life. Voyage Bubble, My Wish. Red Lion kicking over Voyage Bubble. Sunlight Power screaming home. Red Lion, Voyage Bubble. What a finish. It's close to a dead heat in the Champions Mile. Voyage Bubble and Red Lion, who's gone the race of his life. Sunlight Power third, then My Wish Galaxy Patch. Followed in by Cheng Cheng Glory, Beauty Joy. Next in Happy Together, Gomon, Royal Patronage, Gaia fourth, Beauty Eternal and Mr. Brightside. Who wins it? Voyager, it's going to be Red Lion. It's Red Lion, number 10. It's Hugh Bowman at 90 and 11. Over Voyage Bubble at 1 a place. Including Voyage Bubble. Let's see it again. It's Red Lion. It's still not official. When they finally announce it, it's the 10. Red Lion's got it. Here's Nick.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, Hugh Bowman didn't quite believe it, but we've seen the...
I've got to say, I mean, I didn't really expect to win, but the fact that he has is no surprise. He ran second in the race last year and
who's been to Hong Kong 3 times and gone close in all 3 of those starts. But the big headache for him Ginny, is that he normally does give them a start.
Yeah, he can, and that's for sure. But he is talented. There is no 2 ways about that. This race last year, he probably or arguably should have. I do have him on top of number 1, Goliath. I'm happy to ignore that string hold of his. Gee, he looks fit. He looks so good in his coat as well.
FWD racing. Ruby Lot missed it. He was 3 lengths last out of the gates, and the Kiwi began fast. El Vencedor from the inside gate, the Derby winner. Cap Ferrar goes up alongside second from Moments in Time. Tastia is going to be 3 wide into the first turn as Califf goes through on the rail. Then came Ensued from Goliath. Ruby Lot's recovered against the fence. Straight Aaron third last, and the tail enders Liberty Island, who wants to get their head up, and Prognosis. He's a length away last of all. It's El Vencedor for New Zealand, making his way to the back by the Shingmore. Aaron is second last, and Prognosis being restrained back to the inside. McDonald might be looking to follow the Japanese mare Liberty Island. Yes, there he goes as El Vencedor goes to the halfway point, and he's keen now. He's 3 in front and he's pulling hard. Second is Cap Ferrar, and Tastia is on the outside of Moments in Time. Then Califf. 3 wide is Liberty Island. Ensued's in the centre from Goliath. Ruby Lot, Prognosis, and Straight Aaron's on the inside. It's El Vencedor leading in the QE2. He's a length over Cap Ferrar, Tastiera. Moments in Time fourth on the inside. 3 wide, hard-ridden Liberty Island. So too Ensued. Then came Califf. Coming wide on the turn is Goliath and Prognosis. They're 6 off the lead from Ruby Lot. El Vencedor's all done. Tastiera's run to the lead. Half a length on Cap Ferrar. 3 lengths away, Moments in Time. Califf's going a big race from Prognosis, but it's Tastiera though. He's out by a length and a half to 2. Over in second spot, Cap Ferrar, Prognosis. Tastiera though for Japan. Prognosis is going to run another placing, but Tastiera won the QE2 and beat home Prognosis and Califf. Then came Ruby Lot, followed across the line by Ensued, Cap Ferrar, Straight Aaron. Moments in Time has been pulled up at the 100-metre mark. Tastiera. Damien Lane has won for Japan. It's going to be a bittersweet result for Japan, with Tastiera winning it, and hopefully Liberty Island is okay. They've rushed straight.
Well within himself at the moment. So our next feature event up at Eagle Farm is the Queensland Guineas, won back in 2020.
It's worth $350,000. It's a Group 2 race, the Queensland Guineas over.
Thank you, Emma. Well, I can tell you that Shangri-La Spring has been well supported. There's actually been 2 that have been backed in the last couple of minutes or so. Shangri-La Spring and also Wonder Boy, horses 1 and 2. Shangri-La Spring opened at 480. Got into
tropical conditions, and we're on a soft track, but the rain is arriving up in Queensland. So whether that affects.
Came out clumsily last out. Super Alloy first to go. Oriente, the roughies, got speed, and Shangri-La Spring came out well. Pushing forward steadily, and Wonder Boy is right up there as well. Interjection about 5th away. Then Depth of Character, followed by Beau Dazzler. He's nice and handy fresh. Followed by Churchill's Choice. Super Alloy with a decent run in 3rd. A length and a half away 4th, Oriente, and Depth of Character. He's parked 5th on the rail. To the back approaching the turn, Warrior for Peace. Then our Benefactor, and last of all, Imperialist. Straightening for home, Shangri-La Spring. Turned into the straight. Centered sights on the judgment. Wonder Boy is tackled circling strongly on the outside. Followed then by Depth of Character coming up menacingly 3 wide. Wider was Churchill's Choice. Shangri-La Spring still in front. Wonder Boy can't get it, but Depth of Character might have to pair, and Churchill's Choice is still running on. 100 left to run though. Depth of Character surged to the lead. It looked all over. You know why? It is all over. Depth of Character bolted in. Won the Guineas easily. Beat Churchill's Choice. Third, Bow Dazzler and Eye Catcher. Shangri-La Spring peak late. Our Benefactor running on. Then Wonder Boy, Boomtown Boss, Tardelli, Warrior for Peace, Super Alloy, Imperialist, Oriente and Interjection, the last one home.
This guy loves Queensland. This guy is a Queensland horse. Every time he heads up the highway for Annabelle and Rob Archibald, he runs really, really well. He was a last start winner at Eagle Farm over the mile. He was a listed winner at the Brisbane Carnival as a 2-year-old last year. Today, you would have thought, Richo.
Antino won the Victory Stakes in 2024. Blake Shin telling us start of the day.
Thank you, Emma. Well, Coleman is our favourite. He's now into $5. He holds most amount of money compared to any other runner in the field. He was equal favourite with Hidden Wealth a moment ago, but Hidden Wealth has got now to $6 and Coleman has firmed in half a point to $5. Jetta sits on that second line there at $6 with $6 with Too Easy, Hidden Wealth. Then you've got Freedom Rally at $10.
Rothfire all well away. King Kappa began. The gallant Rothfire leads from Hidden Wealth, doing a tough 3 deep. Coal Crusher protects the rail, and Far Too Easy. Willow's put him into a 4th spot. He's ready to go. Then came a bounding Freedom Rally, a close 6th or 7th on the rail. On the way, King Kappa, Sofrado wide. Libertad, then Cannonball, Genevieve, Waterford, Coleman to the outside, but a long way off them. Then Golden Mile, Payline, and Elmazillo right out of the centre of the track. The leader was Rothfire. He's giving something. Hidden Wealth on the outside giving something as well. Libertad and Huge Odds getting up on the inside. Geneville's running on, and Golden Mile right down the outside. Libertad and any odds led. Geneville shut the gap. Geneville after Libertad. Headed into the line. They hit it. Fano. Geneville or Libertad from Golden Mile, Rothfire, and Waterford running on. Then came Freedom Rally. King Kappa, followed by Payliner bounding. Far Too Easy up at that clump. Then came at the head of the others, Coleman, Elmazillo, Sofrado, Hidden Well, Coal Crusher, and last over the line is Far Too Easy, pulling up quickly, and Cannonball midfield.
Well, that is a day to remember for the Archibald team, I think. Libertad, who showed so much talent as a 2-year-old, he's had a long layoff and only second up into the preparation. Has he got it? Well, cameraman thinks so. That'd be a big victory for this Entire. Yes, he's an Entire by Russian Revolution, and he gets it at $83 if you don't mind. Jamie Mott, well done to you, sir. That is some sort of steer to get this horse back in the winner's circle.
Oh, so Jamie Mott picks up the ride, and Libfield and Rothfire in for 4th ahead of Cannonball. So a lot of good runs out of that. Keep watching that.
$27. Now it's all about Jenny. Bride of Jenny, she's back and she's a superstar when she's right. We know all of that. She's got to carry the 61 kilos. She's meeting an inferior team down this betting score. Let's have a look. She's 22.
The one they've all got to catch. 61 kilos for the reigning Australian Horse of the Year. Pride of Jenny, who of course returned.
Price and what we opened at $2.10. Good spread of money. Thank you very much for playing along, Regal Zeus. We're holding nice money out.
Ready, and away they go at the 1,600 metres, and Pride of Jenny towards the inside was clearly the best out, with Regal Zeus the outer, Helsing pounding, She-Light behind them. 2 further back, Quickster, Electric Bell, and Macram back to the end of the field. Pride of Jenny is the leader by a length and a quarter. Regal Zeus, who at the moment is perched outside. They're 2 lengths in front of Helsing the outer, followed by She-Light and last Electric Bell as they reach the 850 marker. The leader is Pride of Jenny by 2 lengths to Regal Zeus, doing it the hard way, and they're 3 or 4 lengths in front of Helsing, 3/4 She-Light, 2 lengths pounding Macram, Quickster, Electric Bell. So Pride of Jenny comes towards the 600 metres, and now Newitt's about to put the foot down by about a length and a half to Regal Zeus, who's sticking to Pride of Jenny. 3 further back as Helsing shown the whip from pounding She-Light, then Quickster, and behind them Macram. Pride of Jenny the first to straighten with 300 metres to go, led by 2 lengths to Regal Zeus, who's lugging in under
pressure. She Light Helsing battle on, pounding to the middle of the track, still with 6 to pick up. Pride of Jenny, 200 to go, has a good buffer. 3 lengths to She Light, finishing hard with pounding. Pride of Jenny, 100 metres to go. Still a good margin over She Light, pounding. We love this. And Pride of Jenny back with a big win. 2 lengths. Second, She Light pounding at Helsing. Regal Zeus, Backram, Electric Bell and Quick Star. Pride of Jenny, Craig Dewitt with a wry smile over his face as they hit the line. On paper, she was the best horse in it, and she's performed here. Back to 1600 at Caulfield, and Pride of Jenny was not for catching. $2.40 and $1.40. Pride of Jenny the winner. Photo second, we stack. But Brisbane awaits now as Pride of Jenny has run them ragged. Hands and heels in the last 50. Craig Dewitt shaking his head, thinking how tough she is.
Bill, it's the Group 1 South Australian Derby, the third race.
OK, well, he opened up favourite Statuario at $4.20. He's into $3.20 now. This is a good go for your favourite. American Wolf steady at the $6.50. Opening quote was $7.50. Holding nice money. Lavalier rock solid at $6.50, but the go's been Global Eclipse. This colt is by Tiara, clipped off his maiden win at Cranbourne. 19 into $8.50. It's a nice go for the 18. He gets a run the $1. And then right down the bottom, Feminile coming out of that fast fillies race. $31 to 18, number 15, not on your pay.
Statuario favourite racing now in the Derby. Statuario left OK here, due by, I should say, Global Eclipse goes forward early, due by Focus. Out wide is pressing forward as well. So it's going to be Global Eclipse and due by Focus. The speed slow. Roctave is third. Snoopy Now's handy with Dark and Confidential. Lavalier closer to the inside. We have Scintillante and Statuario. So the leader early is Global Eclipse. As they come back into our view, now tackle Gold Rush Guru's Confidential. Gold Rush Guru's 3 deep and exposed here, but is pressing forward. Further back in the field, Scintillante shuffled back from Cavity Bay. Then Confetti Garden. Well back in the field, Familia. Second last in the field was American Wolf. And it's Gold Rush Guru out on top. Roctave is second, and Dubai Focus is back into third position. Lavalier gets into a trailing position fourth. 2 back then on the outside is Saint Emilion. It's covering up, compressing the inside. Then came Snoopy Now, the Port Adelaide Guineas winner, back in about 7th. Behind those then we've got further back then Saint Emilion. Underneath of it then came the favourite, and that of course is Statuario. It's still back on the fence. Then came around the outside Dark and Confidential. Further back in the field then Scintillante. A length away in the field then on the inside Familia. Well back on the outside of the track we got Confetti Garden, with also Cavity Bay, American Wolf and Captain Hilfiger last of all. So it's Gold Rush Guru here in the Derby, about to go for home. Led by 2 to Roctave second, Dubai Focus third. Then came Lavalier. Trying to get to the outside here is Global Eclipse. It's starting to chime in now. Further back on the field came Snoopy Now. It's Gold Rush Guru here in the Derby leading the way. It gets away by 2 lengths here. Out wide, Global Eclipse is running on and snatching runs the inside Familia. It's making ground along the inside. It's out after Gold Rush Guru. Familia takes the lead now from Gold Rush Guru. They're clear of Lavalier. Now getting out, Statuario's flying home. Familiar's in front. Statuario's grinding home. Familiar is in front. Statuario's running out of time, and it's Familiar. Familiar wins from second placing Statuario. Third, Lavalier, I think. In a photo, Cavity Bay was there with also not far away Scintillante. They'll come back into my view shortly. Further back then came behind those, knocking up quickly, was Roctave from Confetti Garden. Judah back at the rear.
The South Australian Derby goes to a filly again. It was Coco Sun last year. It's Feminile this year. Lockie Neindorf doubles his Group 1 tally, and very much like he did on Climbing Star in the Sangster. It was up the inside. The runs presented themselves. And John, for Phillip Stokes, this filly drove through up to the 2,500 metres today. She was strongest late.
Hard fit, and we've got a couple of Sangsters runners, first and second across the line here, and a few others as well. Amina was huge. Down the outside came Charmstone, and trying to be the third to do the big double and win the Sangster and the Goodwood. Or, Katie, could we see it through the Tobin Bronze? There's some Australian Group 1, so 45 on his CV, Mick Price, but those 3 Goodwoods, the 3 Sanks.
One of our champions here, and here he is. This
Tell
is
us
the
what
horse.
you see here, Katie. The form's obvious, but what do you see?
Well, he always parades a little bit on the Burley side. He carries a lot of weight in his midsection, so I wouldn't be too worried about that.
The champion sprinter Giga Kick punters hope and anticipate it's one of the Price Kent Junior runners, because Reserve Bank a $5.50 chance, Charmstone $9.50, but the Ladbrokes bookies, they're taking on Giga Kick. Hopefully they're wrong, and the champion can salute. You win some, you lose more.
Stand. Racing in the Goodwood. And off the inside, Stretton Angel a bit slow. Prairie Flower had no speed either, and Press Down won the start. Sursway's going up in the early stages as well, with Climbing Star and Sharippa. Charmstone, then came Watch Me Win. A length away in the field, then to Generosity. Then came Amina. Back on the inside, then came moving through there was Stretton Angel. A length and a half away in the field to Prairie Flower. Giga Kicks back third last here from Reserve Bank and Volcanic Express. So they've gone pretty hard, and Climbing Star now races to the lead. Climbing Star narrowly as they approach the bend. Press Down is second, and third placing there is Sir Sway. Back on the inside is Watch Me Win from Sharippa. Giga Kick still second last here, peeling right to the outside in the Goodwood. So Climbing Star the leader here. Press Down's after it. Sir Sway down the middle. Then Watch Me Win. Stretton Angels getting right up on the inside here. So it's in front, Climbing Star. Sir Sway, where's Giga Kick? He's not there yet. Reserve Bank's on the scene. Reserve Bank goes to Sir Sway. Giga Kick flying home, but Reserve Bank's going to win the Goodwood. Second placing's either Giga Kick or Sir Sway. Amina came from the clouds. Might have got fourth from Generosity, the Western Australian mare. Probably finishes in about 5th or 6th. Then came behind those Climbing Star, Prairie Flower, Sharippa, then Volcanic Express, Press Down, and Charmstone last in.
Reserve Bank wins a Group 1. He wins the Goodwood. The terrific son of Capitalist has maybe booked a spot into the future as a stallion, and a gun ride from Jamie Mellon. She goes back to back in the Goodwood. Benedetta last year, Reserve Bank this year, and the 4th win in the great race for Mick Price, and he does it this time.
She certainly does, and now she's really in a position to pick and choose her rides. She's got such a great feel for the horses, a great horse person, and she waited. She could have come to the outside like Mark Zara did on Giga Kick, who ran well. He really did. He got pushed along on the corner and was probably wider than what he would have liked. But Jamie, who just bided her time, waited for the right runs to come on the inside.
Back for a 3rd win here in Adelaide through this.
Back-to-back wins. It's bucketing down on the Gold Coast. We'll go there in the moment. Tom Dabening and Jordan Childs combined. Flyer runs second there ahead of Bridal.
Run and take shelter here, Richo. It's coming. It's upon us. 4 into 370 for our favourite here, Buckaroo, with 35% of the money invested as that wind rolls in. Late support for Elias, 650 into 450. 750 out the gate there for Lindemann from 460. 850 in from 11 for Militarise, who will enjoy these conditions. 9 about Antino, and then $13 or more the rest. But Buckaroo best backed, and he's our 370 favourite here. Imagine what you could be buying.
The rain's pouring.
Yeah, well, he will appreciate the conditions, but as I say, it's so wet out there. Ali, a market mover?
So back and they're off and racing now. Antino slow to move. He was last away. Williamsburg left quickly with Blada, Jont and Lindemann going forward. Just Folk driving through in between runners. Elias around 5th with Faulkner Park. In Coda midfield the rail. Then Buckaroo, Miss Jolene next. Kovalika, Militarise, Artful Girl and Antino's last. Just Folk went through and took it up. 1,400 metres left to run. Just in Coda, Antino's on the forward march. He's got past 3 now. Shin at the 1,000 metres mark. Militarise third to last, then Kovalika. Artful Girl's last of all. Just Folk giving a sight. 850 metres left to run. Just Folk extended the margin to 4 lengths now. Wadajont in second. Lindemann travels strongly third. Likewise, Faulkner Park in fourth. Then Williams Williamsburg. Buckaroo's getting a tag into the race now. Further back in the field, Antino. Elias is losing ground. Miss Jolene's got past it. Then Kovalika militarising Coda. 3 lengths away, Artful Girl runs a plenty now. 450 metres left to run in the Hollandale. Faulkner Park quickly swept up and hit the front from Bois de Jean. Antino's onto the scene, and Shin let him go at the top of the straight. Antino dashed to the lead from Faulkner Park. Buckaroo, Kovalika's running on. Then Miss Jolene, but it's Antino in front. 200 metres left to run. He's been left in front a long way out from home, but he's clear. Kovalika, Faulkner Park try ever so hard, but Antino, what a dashing ride. Shin has stolen the Hollandale on Antino. 3 lengths, Faulkner Park second, Kovalika third. Fourth either Militarise or Miss Jolene. Then Bois de Jean, Artful Girls past a few. Lindemann next in. Then in Coda, Williamsburg, Elias and Buckaroo and Just Folk. What a ride.
What a day for Tony Golan. So he gets a treble, but importantly, he's got his son of Redwood, who was a sprinter miler, to run 1,800 metres and announce himself as a key contender in the Doomben Cup.
Yeah, he really will be. Blake Shin just gets along so well with this horse. Of course, we saw him take off on him in the Toorak, and he absolutely bolted in, and he's done the exact same thing here. Good to see him nice and strong on the line, and yeah, he certainly does love being in his hometown in Queensland. Of course, he didn't really like the Hong Kong.
But Kibosh on the second line, 13,750 now into $6 there for Jamie Mellum. Floating is at 850, has stayed solid around that quote after opening 15s. Manzois is at 11s, out from 950, and Coda opened 18s, but it is absolutely one-way traffic, and there's really only one to note outside of that scratching that we had of immediacy, 18 cents and 14 cents the place for the deductions, so do take those into account. But Sir Delius, by far and away, the one they want. Imagine what you could be buying.
Now he steadies. Racing. He came away with them, Sir Delius. One of the first to go was Kibosh, and Coda rolling forward today, as is Floating and Nereus. Sir Delius will call him fifth in the first call, and then Nick Our Spur. Warp Speed coming across from a wide gate. Allegron settling a little worse than midfield, followed by Our Journey, and the leader was Nereus from Floating. And Coda's been stuck 3 wide, so the jock pushes on. He now challenges for the front. Meanwhile, Kibosh continues to truck along nicely in fourth on the inside, and Sir Delius fifth of the 800 metre back bend. Might be about to ease 3 wide. Warp Speed's covered ground in the run near the inside Allegron. Nick Our Spur between runners, then Star Vega. Manzois hopping onto the 3 wide line with 2 behind him, Anamakore and Strathtay. It's a bunch field now, 600 left to run, and Coda has worked triple time from Nereus and Kibosh getting up inside the pair as those leaders shift away. Floating's force 4 wide, so Delius just behind them, needing room to move. Star Vega pinching inside runs. Manzois coming wide, then Anamakore, Allegron, Strathtay and Nick Our Spur. In the home straight by the 300. Kibosh shot the gap to the inside. Floating's after it gamely. Sir Delius is now starting to wind up in the centre. Here comes the import. He's still got a bit of work to do. He's got to catch Floating. Can he? 100 left to run. Floating in front. Sir Delius. Here he comes. Sir Delius got the upper hand, pulled away, and the favourites home of the Germans. Sir Delius beat home Floating. Third over the line, Manzois. Strathtay fourth. Warp Speed next, then Star Vega, followed by Kibosh, Nereus, Nick Our Spur. Gaps to Anamakore, Allegron.
Onwards and upwards. So the entire son of Frankel starts his Australian career in style. Of course, he ran 8th in an Arc de Triomphe behind Blue Stocking. He'd run 2nd in the Prix de Niel at Group 2 level behind Sosi, who franked the form by running 4th in that Arc. He was formerly trained by Jean-Claude Rougeau, who, of course, trained for Coolmore. Bought at the Tattersalls Autumn Horses in Training sale for roughly, Katie, we'll switch it around about 2.6 million Aussie. And, well, he's won a $200,000 race here, so about 100 jumps in. But you can imagine there's a lot more in store.
Yeah, simply extraordinary, breathtaking performance there, Richo. And as we heard from Body pre-race, that he's got so much sprint in his legs, and he really did need that. But wow, once he got the split, he sprinted like an Oakley plater. This horse is incredible, and he looked like he's just acclimatised, but he's just a stunning galloper, and the way that he sprinted like that, he's going to be so hard to beat in whatever they target.
Geez, that's impressive.
Yeah, really impressive, and he's a good horse. Floating there for second, but he was just no match for him. He's got a big high knee action too. He gets his head quite high.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't bother him. He puts
Here at Doomben, it's 10,000 time for the sprinters over the 1,200 metres, and that is the piece of silverware that all these 9 Group 1 winners in the field are vying for. Let's check in with Ali Mod.
Sunshine in Paris has just started to firm up late here. She's been 420 into 370 in what is a really open edition of this year's Doomben 10,000. We've actually got a runner at odds who's our worst result, but Benedetta has been 5 into 460. Overpass out the gate there after opening 4 is at 750. A similar story with Schwartz. He opened 7s and he's now at 10s. Jeddabil 10 out to 11. Marzu 10 to 12. The move here at odds has been for Hidden Wealth, and here's our worst result, 17 into $13. Lady Laguna 17 to 19.
Back and then pick their way through Sunshine in Paris for Mines, the one to beat.
Here we go, the running of the Doomben 10,000.
Stand by. Racing. Great line out by Schwartz, who came out last. Hidden Wealth and Overpass, the 2 speeds is the first to go. And Berry signalling his intention. He wants to lead on Hidden Wealth, and that he will. Overpass drops into second. Going forward, Marzu, Libertad and Jeddabil not far away. Followed then by Desert Lightning as they go to that first bend. Schwartz, after the clumsy start on the way forward. Rothfire midfield off the track. Then Benedetta and Sunshine in Paris. The 2 big guns in the market racing alongside each other. 3 to V8, Lady Laguna, Payline last. Down to the halfway mark, Hidden Wealth. Tackled by Marzu and Schwartz. Pouring on the pressure, 3 wide. Overpass just behind them, Libertad and Rothfire. They're wide, Jeddabil. Park 7th the rail. Sunshine in Paris moving up to a dangerous trailing position. Benedetta still right with her. Then came at the others, Desert Lightning. Lady Laguna hooking wide. Then Payline and V8. In the home straight, plenty with the chance here. Libertad and Rothfire on the outside. Schwartz, Marzu battling on, and now Sunshine in Paris, given a cue, is coming right down the outside. Rothfire's in front. Sunshine in Paris is trying hard. Rothfire and Sunshine in Paris. Sunshine in Paris dropped the lead and won from Rothfire and Payline. 4th over the line was Benedetta. Then came Schwartz, Marzu. Well back was Libertad, Jeddabil, Desert Lightning. Then came Lady Laguna, Overpass, Hidden Wealth and V8 last over the line.
A genius, James McDonald. That's 14, yes, 14 Group 1s for the season, if you don't mind. 16's the all-time record for Miracle Mal Johnson. Miracle, watch out. Over the next 4 or 5 weeks, that record might be in trouble because James McDonald starts Queensland in style. Brilliant win. Sunshine in Paris wins for the Archibalds. Rothfire, what a marvel he is, runs second. Payline at any sort of a price running third, and Benedetta. Katie, congratulations.
It wasn't the prettiest ride being able to sit 3 wide a lot of the trip there, but the right ride, because you saw what was happening on the fence there. They were going a clip during that, and you could see there was a lot of clutter, but clear air. And then James McDonald, as he always does, look at him trying to urge her over the right line. She's done it well herself, but I think the ride and getting her to really finish off that sprint, Richo, in the final piece
and
of the puzzle.
he's also unbeaten on this mare in Group 1s.
Yeah.
So he's had 2 rides for 2 wins in Group 1.
And how important for this mare is Doomben, which is the Rough Habit Plate over the 2,000 metres. This is a Group 3 for the 3-year-olds. You're looking to the market for the Rough Habit.
Well, the punters are putting their faith in James McDonald one more time, with almost 50% of the money invested here aboard Belle Dittel. She's been 480 into 330 in the last couple of hours. Firm agreement on the second line, 440 out to 19, and then $23 or more. The rest with absolutely one-way traffic. Once again, they follow
Liberty Park on the move. Racing Brisbane, and Liberty Park came out a touch awkwardly. Maison Louis towards the inside with Beau Dazzler beginning well. King of Thunder, our benefactor, nicely away. And there's Shangri-La Spring, as we expect, surging up towards the lead. They plan to ride Imperialist forward as well, and that's what they're doing. He's going up to sit outside of Shangri-La Spring, who takes control of the Rough Habit with a lap left to go. Imperialist just skirted a bit wide around the bottom bend. Beau Dazzler, our benefactor next, Liberty Park, and Real Classes right off the track. King of Thunder has popped over onto the rail and he races at about 6. Then Maziz, Belle Dittel, second last as they go to the back straight, and Firm Agreement is last. So 2 of the major players in the market down at the back of the bus. Down the back straight, 1100 left to run. Imperialist takes over, leads Real Class by a length. Shangri-La Spring, then Maison Louis, followed by Croupier. Deep Focus has always been wide. Belle de Tel still a long way back. I'd estimate 8 off the lead as they approach the 600 metres. Maziz second last and firm agreement. The jockers elected to follow Belle de Tel, but they've got work to do. 500 left to run and pushing on with it now. Real Class on the outside going with Imperialist. Shangri-La Spring sweating on that pair. Our Benefactor fourth at the turn. Then came King of Thunder coming to the outside. Where's Belle de Tel? It's threading the needle and firm agreement is still following it forward. In the straight, Imperialist at big odds. Raced to the lead, took control of it from Our Benefactor. Then came Shangri-La Spring, King of Thunder. Deep Focus down the outside. Imperialist is well clear. Our Benefactor can't reach it. Maison Louis running on and Deep Focus right down the outside, but Imperialist at big odds causes an upset. Beat Deep Focus, King of Thunder, Maison Louis and Our Benefactor. Belle de Tel warming up late, but too late. Then Real Class, Shangri-La Spring, Dazzler, Prince Levi, firm agreement, never got into it. And Croupier last, no, a couple of tail-end Charlies, Maziz and Liberty Park.
Chris Waller again, 6 wins in the race since 2013. It's unbelievable. And look at the price. Imperialist wins, defeats Deep Focus, King of Thunder and Maison Louis. CJ Waller, unbelievable, wins again.
Runner. She was $4.40 probably about 30 minutes ago. She's now into $4, our clear-cut favourite. And as I say that, she's firmed again now to $3.80. She actually is on our second line of betting. Benadryl is our favourite at this point in time, $3.40, but there's a bit of talk around for her horse number.
Racing. Dame Commander and Yu Wang towards the inside began well with Pleasure Artist, and Filia was well away. Going forward, Poster Girl, Verona Rose, Caddy Queen are going to try and occupy prominent positions. Settling just behind them was Churchill's Choice as they reached the post the first time. Then Sun Worshipper, Bella Montagna over on the round. Now spotting Benadryl for the first time in the first call, about 5th last over on the fence. Not a bad piece of riding to get there off the wide gate. Then Full Howl, Poster Girl, Polymnia, Jenny's Meadow, and moving out is Stone Motherless last. Into the next bend, 800 left to run, and Filia making play in front and currently making every post a winning post. Leads by length to Caddy Queen. 2 away third on the inside was Dame Commander, who's had a good run. Verona Rose fourth the outer. 2 away Pleasure Artist racing outside of Yu Wang as they went by the 600. The first 1400, 126.93, not overly fast. Bella Montagna coming off the bit, then Churchill's Choice, Poster Girl, Sun Worshipper, Benadryl's in traffic, 8 to 10 off them. Jenny's Meadow, Full Howl, Polymnia and moving out. In the straight, Filia went for home. Set her sights on the judge below the 300 from Verona Rose and Yu Wang, who are both gaining on the leader. Then Pleasure Artist and moving out is right down the outside with Jenny's Meadow. Filia is still in front with 100 metres left to go. There's something in the locker, plenty in the locker. Flying Jenny's Meadow, too late, sister. Filia wins. Filia to the Oaks, beats home Jenny's Meadow. Photo finished third. Churchill's Choice or moving out wide. Then Yu Wang, followed by Sun Worshipper, Polymnia, Benadryl in the middle of the field. Then Pleasure Artist. Well back was Verona Rose, Full Howl, Poster Girl, Dame Commander, Bella Montagna, Hurry Curry, and Caddy Queen. Last home in 2.286.
Well, the younger sister might do what the big sister did in the past. The half-sister to Jewess is heading towards a Queensland Oaks, and she ran superbly. Ditto for Jenny's Meadow, who jumped out of the ground to run second. Moving out, Ditto into third and Churchill's Choice, but
Set that to see where with Benadryl. Look behind, as you can see Benadryl in the red colours. There's a few horses. Have a look at this in the concluding stages. Really got stopped in her track, so there's a few excuses for a number of horses of those back markers, and what you've always got to remember is that it's the horses that are planning for the Group 1. Benadryl is ticking over, needing this run, and that's why probably she was
reigning Australian Horse of the Year. She'll hand that title over to another mare, no doubting, in Via Sistina, who is such a champ. What a season she has had. And of the tape, so she has the advantage with prize money, Group 1 wins, but head-to-head, it's Antino 3 2. What a battle it's going to be, and it's going to be a battle.
Since then, he took out the Hollandale, and you can see that he has trained on beautifully. He's got a great coat on him. He's dapples all the way through, and he is ready to fight.
Faulkner Park, who was third in the race last year, it's his 5th attempt at a Group 1. He's gone close. Big chance today.
I reckon this is one of her better parades. She looks as though she's got a bit of spring in her step, which is great. She's also carrying really...
To be our current favourite is Tino, and he's sitting around that $3.30 quote. Jenny, Pride of Jenny, she's getting out of fraction. She's now out to $4.60 after opening at $3.40. So $3.40 out to $4.60 there for our second elect. But Antino, $3.60. Got in as short as $3, just back out to $3.20. Kovalika, he has firmed up a couple of points here. $9 into $7 for him. Faulkner Park, $9 into $8, back out half a point to $8.50. And then there's
Ready to break, they're off and racing. Pride of Jenny began fairly to the inside. Lindemann began a little better, so knew it's going to get busy on Pride of Jenny. Miss Jolene Boisdajon came away well with My Oberon, Elias going forward. Then Klondike, Kovalika, drifting back Osipenko, Antino. He's third last in the first call. Second last as they go to the turn out of the straight was Faulkner Park, and Militarizers last of all. They go by the mile. Newitt now allows Pride of Jenny to settle into her rhythm, and she's got a 2.5 length margin. Lindemann was and Tino third last, 12 off the lead as they head down the back straight to approach the 1,000, and Faulkner Park and Militarized with the last pair. Pride of Jenny racing along the back straight. They're halfway home in the cup. Her margin is 4. Lindemann is second. 3.5 away third, Elias. My Oberon fourth, the rail. The speed is strong as you'd expect. Then Boisdajon, Kovalika, Osipenko, Miss Jolene, followed by Klondike, and then came Antino, and Shinner's now making his move. He has to go now. 3 wide, up he goes. Faulkner Park tries to track him into the race, and last of all was Militarized. They've run the first 1,400 in 1:23.85. They've gone hard. Pride of Jenny knew it's hard at work. She's coming back to them, and the challenges are thick and strong. Here comes Antino, scorching around the field. He's making a wide run, but now thundering to the front. Antino, is it all over? Below the 300 metres, he raced away. Shin riding for his dear life. Faulkner Park runs on resolutely. Then Boisdajon, but with 100 metres to go, it's all over, Red Rover. Antino, 4-5 in front. It is the most brilliant of Queensland victories of the carnival, and that's a good one for you, Tony. That's a big one. Antino won the Newman Cup. Beat home Faulkner Park, Kovalika and Militarized. Then came Klondike, followed by Boisdajon, Miss Jolene, Pride of Jenny, Osipenko, Elias, Lindemann and My Oberon a long last in 2:1.04.
He's the pride of Queensland. He's rapidly becoming the pride of Australia. That was superb. Antino wins Zaki-like. He thrashes them, looped around the field. When Jenny was starting to struggle, looped around. He hit the front of the top of the straight, Lizzie, and off and gone. Faulkner Park, runner-up in a Group 1. Kovalika runs third. That was breathtaking.
He made them look second-rate, Richo. He made them look second-rate. She was up on speed. We knew that's exactly what she was going to be doing. But Antino, he made the move at the top of the straight. It would have been so... But I think he's probably gone to another level. Sometimes it's hard for them to come back from Hong Kong, a trip away, but he has ticked that box and done it absolutely superbly.
He's by Redwood. Could he see out the 2,000 metres? Damn straight he did. He ran it out. And guess what? You reckon he'd be having another crack at a 2,000 metre race? And it might be the last time we run it in the current format at Moonee Valley. He's going to have a crack at the Cox Plate
Well,
after
none
that.
of those horses behind are Cox
They
Plate
can't
horses.
beat him.
They cannot beat him. And I
think we'll have 8 career Group 1s for Tony Gollan. That one would give him an absolute thrill and a half. And for Blake Shin, simply superb. Make it 31 for you in your market for the last, and that is the BRC Sprint. You win, and you're in the Stratty.
The Victorian has all the support here. Richo War Machine opened up at $3.40, now into $2.40, so has firmed in a point and continuing to firm. So we'll wait and see what happens in the next 60 seconds or so. There has been a little bit of specking for 12 Coleman, $7.50 into $6.50 off a disappointing first up run a couple of weeks ago. I Know a Star and continuing to firm.
Racing Brisbane. Oh, Rock Rib went up at the air and went back to last, and Coleman was ordinarily out, second last out. Great go for the early lead, and War Machine is one of them. Yellow Brick is there, and Now I Know a Star is flying through it on the inside. He'll take control. Attractable about fourth away, then Walado, followed by Far Too Easy. Sofrado settling about 7th or 8th on the rail, followed by Freedom Rally, and then came a bounding Transatlantic is caught wide. Coleman trying to improve. Down the side, 700 left to run. I Know a Star in his favourite role, leads Yellow Brick by a head, and Attractable doing it tough 3 wide. War Machine, the favourite, sitting pretty, right behind the leading division. And the first split is fast, 43.84. Walado 5th, Transatlantic wide, Far Too Easy. Sofrado the fence, Rock Ribbed bounding, well back Freedom Rally. Coleman, Pia, Boom Talk, Zadaki and Machelade pulled right to the outside. In the straight, Yellow Brick reached the lead, not for long. War Machine swiftly on the scene, raced up and went by him. Walado's running on and odds, and wider was Transatlantic, but War Machine is trying to break clear. 100 metres left to go. Far Too Easy emerges from the ruck as a place chance, but War Machine, the favourites home of the last on Cup Day. War Machine thrashed them, bolted in, beat home Far Too Easy and Pier along the inside. Transatlantic, Walado were next, then Sofrado, followed by Zadaki, Yellow Brick, then a bound.
Go back to back in this race. Bring on the Stradbroke. Hard to beat War Machine. Here we are at Sand. Live chance in the Straddy.
Yeah, very confident, wasn't it? Ride from Blake Shin, who was able to extricate him at the perfect time of the race. He does look as though he's got an immense amount.
He's a gelded son of Harry Angel in Rupert Lee's colours. That was originally trained by Mike Moroney, and then Mike and Glenn Thompson are now part of the team that's made its way across to Lindsay Park, and the boys have done a beauty of a job with him. Far Too Easy runs really well. Pierre up on the inside. That's a nice run from the New Zealander there for Darren and Briar Weatherly. Up into the inside there.
Oh, into the size we go, and I tell you what, these conditions are not ideal. We've had more rain start to fall here at Eagle Farm. There is grafter burners for Kelly Schweeder.
Years to fall. I'm getting wet feet here, even in the studio, so I can't imagine what it's like out there for the jockeys and participants. Our 420 favourite is Galanero and has been best backed with about 36% of the overall money at the moment. Grafter Burners on the second line has been $7.50 into 5. Aerodrome solid around that $6 quote. The second best backed runner here with 19% of the money is Cool Archie, who's been in red hot form, 11 into 8.
Fog in the goggles happens straight away.
Instantaneously. It's a little of those who are snow.
Prince Tycoon. Prince Tycoon, the light had come on. We were just...
Then Steadfast, Lady Sadler, all business behind horses. Further back, Colour Our World, extricating away from the rails. Now Medaya's coming with a looping run from last. Here she comes up the middle of the course as they reach...
Wide 5th to the inside was Beskar. Then Aerodrome navigating into the 3-wide path, followed by Halfpenny Hatch, Callio to the inside. Grafter Burners about 5 off the lead, then Call Da Vinci, followed by High Barbie. Cool Archie trying to make ground, but he's still third last at the turn, with better luck next time and Call to be sure, or Talk to be sure, the last pair. Fully homeward bound now, 400 left to run, and Brave Design led from Farnicle. They're matching motors, they're battling it out in front from Besker under pressure. Gallo Nero coming off the bed. Let's look for the back markers. Here's Cool Archie starting to wind up, and Grafter Burners and Call Da Vinci right down the outside, but Cool Archie is coming at top speed. Farnicle and Brave Design. Here's Archie. Cool Archie, 50 to go. Race to the lead. More group glory for Cool Archie. He just keeps on winning. He beats home Farnicle, Call Da Vinci and Brave Design. Then Talk to be sure, Grafter Burners, followed by, at the head of the others, Callio, then Aerodrome. Well back was Gallo Nero, who faded out of it. Better luck next time. United States, Besker, Halfpenny Hatch and High Barbie last of all. They cannot stop Cool Archie.
$1 million Group 2 race goes to Chris and Corey Muntz. A huge thrill for Corey Muntz. He's trained the winner here with his dad, Chris, who won the race 13 years ago as a jockey on Sizzling. Defeats the 19.
Out at the moment, it's been $8.50 into $5.50 for our favourite Just Party, who is best backed, albeit with about 20% of the overall money. Stay focused on the second line 9s. Boomtown Boss $9.50. Emirate is at 10s.
Head Stewart, Josh Adams with an update as to what's happening here at Eagle Farm.
Yeah, following that delay in the sires, we had a fair bit of rain come down. We went to a heavy 10 But we got the riding group in after that last race, and just after concerns about visibility in the kickback, not necessarily the actual track, it's the visibility in the rain. The riding group have made the decision that they're not comfortable due to the safety to continue on with the race meeting. So unfortunately for the remainder of the card, we will have to postpone, and we'll just try to get that information out to the group.
Been postponed. They will work with Racing Queensland over the next couple of days to reprogram those postponed races, including the 2 Group 1s in the Kingsford Smith and also the Queensland Derby.
Drawn down low. Editing moving. Now she steadies. Racing. Basusto came away in midfield. Media World was fast away. Tune has early speed. Spicy Martini travelling to third. And Basusto fourth of the first call. At the head of the others, Ruins of Rome. Super Alloy hard ridden. So is Pisces. Just Party a mile back with El Mazzillo. And Pimperina a long last. 43.75 the first split. It was a strong speed. And Basusto gets into the clear. Now 3 off the lead. Meanwhile, Media World had a fair kick. Led the way from Stay Focused. Spicy Martini tuned. Basusto and Right Cotton coming right down the outside. Basusto is full tilt. Media World is still a leader. Spicy Martini is trying hard. Media World trying to grip on. Spicy Martini coming in a gamely. Post looming. Spicy Martini. Beat out Media World or on the outside Pisces. Editing not too far away. Basusto couldn't come on when required. Then Just Party Tune. Spicy Martini certainly not unnoticed in betting. Was $19 on tab this morning.
Last horse to make its way forward, and then we'll be ready for the Morton Cup, a Group 2 race over 1,200 metres.
Racing. Oh, Hidden Wealth, and Hidden Wealth after that fast start leads away. A length to Front Page in second. Third, Samana between runners. Orton on her outside and Lubrication on her inside. And Warney was last as they swing home. 4.50 left to run. Hidden Wealth went about 5 away from the rail, but he's travelling well with it himself. From Front Page on the outside, and then came Spacewalk. Cannonball was next. Warney down the outside, but I tell you what, at the moment, they're trying to get Hidden Wealth. Front Page now getting on terms. Spacewalk coming up outside the pair. Hidden Wealth on the inside, and on the outside Front Page. Front Page reaching the lead. Hidden Wealth can't go with him. Warney bursting home late. Too late. Front Page won the Morton Cup. Beat either Warney or Hidden Wealth. Spacewalk in fourth. Then Ordered a little deep, followed by Cannonball. Then came Punch Lane, Samana, Boom Talk, and Lubrication last over the line.
What a beauty this horse is, and well done to Matty Dale. He took over from Jeff Gerani and Lizzie. And Lizzie, your pick of the yard salutes.
Yeah, he's a tough horse, isn't he? I was a little bit worried at the top of the straight. I thought, I don't know how much he turned. I think we have to judge him on today's performance. Last time out, he didn't have a great deal of luck at Morpeth Valley, got back, and the race was already over before he got into it. And Jolie Star, well, she's been consistent, but we probably thought a little bit more of her. Is she at her very best where she should have won in Everest? I'm not quite sure she is.
Yeah, I think...
It's very Jolie Star is our best backed and favourite here. She's just starting to get out a touch though from her opening quote. So she's got about 37% of the money invested here. She's out to 240 now from 220. Giga Kick with about 24% of the money overall has been 420 into 4 and staying solid there. Komochi has been 10 into 8. Benedetta 7 to 950. Rise at Dawn is actually our third best backed here with about 13 backed here with about 13. Payline is at 17. Zarastro 19 in from 21. Golden Mile 23 after opening $31 and then 31 about Liberty.
Racing. Jumped in a good line. Giga Kick and Jolie Star began together in the second half. One behind that pair, Komochi. A length and a half Benedetta. A length and a half Jolie Star. I'd estimate 7 off the lead of the term. 2 behind her, Giga Kick. So they're both going to have to put in big runs as they flatten for home. Payline right to the outside, then Democracy Manifest. Zarastro the inside giving a sight. Golden Mile laying down the law and now getting alongside Zarastro. Clear of Libertad, Jolie Star and Giga Kick. They've got a hell of a lot of work to do. Currently it's Golden Mile and Zarastro and Golden Mile. Jolie Star's running on well now. Is it too late though? Zarastro the inside, Golden Mile, Jolie Star flying out wide, photo finish. Zarastro was trying to hang on and Jolie Star was zooming home. Golden Mile right up there with them. Then Rise at Dawn, followed by Komochi. Benedetta, further back was Giga Kick, then came Libertad, Democracy Manifest, and Payline pulling up last of all as Jolie Star got up in the nick of time.
Has she got there? She was coming at a rate of knots, storming down the outside. J-Mac, centimetre perfect, nails it right on the line. And he does it for Chris Waller, who creates history. 19 Group 1s in a season, never been done before. And J-Mac gets within one of Malcolm Johnson. This could be a day of history, and they've started in unbelievable style. What a win.
Oh, what a win, what a win. But my heart breaks for Ange Jones. She rode Zarastro to absolute perfection. We were looking for these horses back in the field who, the more favoured runners like Jolie Star and Giga Kick, who made no impression. Look at Golden Mile and Zarastro up on speed. It just shows how tough it is to make ground. They were going toe for toe, and Zarastro just looked like he got the better of Golden Mile, but bang, on the line, Jolie Star. What can you say? There's so many superlatives, Richard. Winks.
Yeah.
It's quite an achievement from both people, but as I said, oh, Ange, I thought you had it.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Thanks, Cora.
And a bit of sportsmanship there. Oh, Tony ruining the day, as was Ange Jones, but she's one hell of a mare. And just before we get on to her, congratulations.
To be part of it.
She's such a super mare. On the turn, what were you thinking? She was ahead of Giga Kick, which was probably a good thing, but she did have to work through her gears quite workmanlike.
Yeah, the track's a little bit tricky today, and the on-pace runners just keep running. And she hasn't had the perfect preps. Like, we had a lot of wet weather in Sydney. I gave her a trial on the poly track, wondering whether she'd done enough work at the 500. So...
I won't say what he just did to you, but...
We had the right man on, and we had the right horse.
Will you back up?
No.
That's it for her for the
I
prep?
would say so. I'll speak to Brendan and Joe, see what they say, but no, it was only ever to give her the one run, and she's got jobs in the spring.
And that job, I mean, we've seen horses like Think About It, I Wish I Win, head towards an Everest. Is that the way you'll be targeting for the spring?
Again, speak to the owners, see what they want to do. If you target the Everest...
Little Rocket, Big Rocket, because she was entitled to win, and that's how good she was.
She's such a beautiful mare, but you're right.
Sure, and like I said before, when I looked up at the 600, I thought, okay, I'm okay. So I got on my bike at the 500. As soon as I did that, pace quickened. The margin went from like 5 lengths turning from home to 7, and it just didn't feel like I was making ground. But I was lucky I was on a proper horse, and she got through it, and she just didn't like the ground.
15 Australia
Farm, and great race. There's always something so special about Ladies' Day wherever it is around the world. This is the 73rd running of the Queensland version of the Oaks. So
market, Richo, in terms of where the money sits. So our best backed runner is our favourite Filia, who was $4.60, now into $4.20 with about 26% of the overall investment. But Benagil on the second line, or Benagil, isn't actually our second favourite in terms of hold. $6 about Benagil. Moving out is at 6 in from $8.50. Panito has about 12% of the overall money and has been 6 after opening 10. Jenny's Meadow is actually our second best backed runner with about 17% of the money invested here, albeit she's been $6.50 to $9.50. Churchill's Choice, a little move late, 11 into 10s, and then a gap to the rest. Yu Wang, $21. She's a $21. She's a dealer, 26 and 34 or more.
Racing. In the end, Filia began well, and sweltering out wide was nicely away. Over on the other side of the track, good speed from Yu Wang and Pleasure Artist. Jenny's Meadows right up there with Poster Girl. Ella Hazel trying to find a spot. Filia for the moment, she can't get near the lead, but she's pushing forward about 6th and 7th as they drive into that first bend. Then came Real Class. Benagil settling about 3 or 4 back over on the inside. Followed by She's a Dealer, then Churchill's Choice, Amplify inside that pair. Then Panito, moving out fronting. One away 4th, Pleasure Artist. Then it came a length and a half to Yu Wang in 5th, and the pace is genuine. Jenny's Meadow lying 7th on the right. Yu Wang, Benagil spots them about 6 or 7. Followed by Poster Girl. Panito's making a fast forward move. So is the Kiwi, She's a Dealer. Then Churchill's Choice, a clear encore. Amplified, moving out 3rd last at the bend. And then came Mystic and Sun Worshipper. They flattened for home and set sail for the judge of the Oaks. Shangri-La Impact led the way from Yu Wang emerging. Up on the outside was Ella Hazel. Filia struggling. Here's Panito with a big baldy face thundering down the centre of the track. Churchill's Choice running on fairly. Yu Wang on the inside, tackled by Panito on the outside. outside. Then came Ella Hazel, Benadryl, Yu Wang on the inside, Panino the outside, stride for stride, desperate go. Here comes the post photo. I'd say Yu Wang from Panino and Benadryl. Fourth, possibly Amplify. Not far away was She's a Dealer. Filia was next, then Jenny's Meadow, followed by Move It Out. Then came Ella Hazel, Real Class, Churchill's Choice. At the head of the others was Sun Worshipper. Then Shangri-La Impact. Well back was Sweltering, Pleasure Artist. Then came Eclair Encore, Misting and Poster Girl last over the line.
What a win to Yu Wang. What a training performance from Chris Lees. The filly by So You'd Think ran third in the ATC Oaks, and that was only early up in his prep, so he kept pushing on. He went up to, well, what he did is he gave her a run at Gosford in the coast. He dropped back to a mile. It was brilliant.
Brilliant training performance to her. And then he started building her up towards what he wanted to get her into, an Oaks, which was in New South Wales. And
features today. It is the 148th running of the Queensland Derby, and horse number 1 is not bred to be a stayer. He's by a sprinter who was able to win an Everest in year 10.
To say it as well. Statuario, though, our favourite here and best backed. Now into $5 after opening 7, so back to his opening quote there at 5s. Has about 24% of the overall investment here. Belle Detel, who isn't actually our second best backed, she's our third best backed with 15%. 7 into $5.50, and we saw her snuggling up to M before. Party Crasher, $9.50 into $7.50 is our second best backed runner there with 18% of the overall money. King of Thunder has been 8 to 11. Firm Agreement 10, Politely Done is at 19, along with Deep Focus, The Muffin Man, and then $21 or more, the rest of them. There's been a little spec there for Maison Louis, who's been 26 into 23, but Statutario, our $5.
Ring of the bell, but Craig Williams just merely shakes his head. I don't know what the issue is, but we're going to have a late scratching here, and it's going to be the South Australia. Craig.
Bit of movement in the centre of the line. Racing in the Derby. Existential Bob in the centre of the line was one of the first to go. Lavalia began well. Our Benefactor and Maison Louis were nicely into stride. And Imperialist, Berry sending him right down the outside, looking for a forward position. Statuario on the rail in the early stages with Beau Dazzler and Firm Agreement. Coursing a bit wide there was the Muffin Man trying to improve. Followed by King of Thunder. Wide was Champagne of Dreams, and then came Feminile near the rail, Citalonte, just running out of some room as they go to the bottom bend. Then came Rogan, followed by Belle Detel, one of the Derby favourites, second last in the first call, and last of all, Politely Done. They move fifth over on the inside of our Benefactor. John Allen has Statuario centre field. Over on the inside of Firm Agreement as they head down the back straight, and Beau Dazzler outside the pair, covering ground 3 and 4 wide. Now, Belle Detel's having no luck at all. It's in fact 4 wide and pushing on. McDonald is searching for a more forward spot. King of Thunder also off the track, and then came Feminine off the lead. The Derby field now are always wide. Statuario sneaking inside runs, saving valuable ground at the 700. Maison Louis that bunched it out, Benefactor, followed by Deep Focus, King of Thunder wide, then Firm Agreement. Feminile is tracking right behind Statuario, stalking into the race at the right time. Politely Done coming wide with Chase Your Dreams, and out at the tail was Rogan Josh. Heading for home in the Derby, 400 left to run. Belle Detel's done a power of work. Imperialist came in it, Lovely up on the inside, wider Existential Bob. Statuario running on fairly with Feminile. King of Thunder is down the outside. There's 5 in line. Lavalia on the inside. Maison Louis all of a sudden shot the gap. 100 to go. Shot to the lead, and the Derby might be over. Maison Louis pulling away. He's too good for them. Maison Louis first. Beat King of Thunder. Photo third. Chase Your Dreams. All Lavalia. Then came Belle Detel. Imperialist, our Benefactor, followed by Politely Done, Feminile. Then at the head of the others was Existential Bob, Rogan. Following them in was Citalonte. Statuario finished a long way back. Imperialist might have got him twice. Then Beau Dazzler, and the Muffin Man last, bar one, Firm Agreement.
Well, what a win to Maison Louis, and well done to Lizzie Jelves, the pick of the yard, a standout of the yard at a huge price. Maison Louis is able to win the Derby, and aren't these supersets absolutely flying? The son of Superset with John O'Shea and Tom Charlton able to combine to win, and to do it with Ryan Maloney is absolutely outstanding. We'll debrief it all after we get back to Flemington there. It looks like the 4 will be King of Thunder. He'll run 1, 2, O'Shea and Charlton. They'll get the Quinella. 3rd and Knight's Order, Ali.
Well, he's been well backed as well, Richo, and he's been rock solid at the top of the betting there. He's our $3 favourite and has about 35% of the overall money invested on him. Second elect, Etna Rosso is just easing a touch. He's got about 22% overall. 310 out to 340. Then a gap to...
And they're racing. And they jumped in a fair line. True Marvel actually was the first out from Campbell-Dino. Manzois was 3rd away. 4th on settling down was, as they go to that first bend, Dillian. He's 3 wide around the first bend. Etna Rosso landing 5th one off the rail. And Nick Spur 6th on the ins. Dillian travels 2nd, 3/4 of a length away. Manzois in 3rd has had a perfect run right from the get-go. And you could say that for Campbell-Dino as well. He's in 4th. 2 lengths to Etna Rosso, a length away Nick Spur, no change to the order. Strathtay is 3 wide, and then came Mr. Waterville. Grana, so dazzling, and Star Vega is now out to last. 600 metres left to go, they come to the turn, and now the race is on in earnest, where True Marvel led the way, but Campbell-Dino leaves his trailing position, moves up ominously. Manzois 3rd, Dillian calls it a day. Etna Rosso runs on, and the others were headed by Nick Spur and Mr. Waterville. They've got around 300 left to run. Campbell-Dino the leader. Etna Rosso is trying harder. Manzois up to 3rd. That might be the race. On the inside, Campbell-Dino led the way. Etna Rosso is trying his heart out. Currently, he can't get Campbell-Dino. Campbell-Dino in front. Tim Clark riding confidently. Another cup for Clark and Waterhouse and Bott. Campbell-Dino too good. Beat Etna Rosso. 3rd over the line was Manzois. Not sure about 4th. Strathtay there with Mr. Waterville. Followed at the head of the others by... well back was True Marvel, and then Nick Spur, then came Star Vega, Dillian, and the tail enders were Manzois and also Allegron.
A young progressive stayer by the name of Campbell-Dino. So the son of Gibberlines wins an Orange Cup, a Premier's Cup and a Brisbane Cup in the one preparation. Sixth win in his career from only 14 starts. Gay wins her.
Market here for the 2-year-old Richos, and the 2 at the top hold over 55% of the overall investment. 34% of that sits with our favourite, Cool Archie, who's just been an easer though. 350 out to 420, 440 as I say that. The move has been for Hidden Achievement, who opened 550 and he's now at 440 and has about 25% of the money here. Grafterburners is at 750 in from 8. Navy Pilot 950 in dollar quote for the better part of the day. Zebra Finch is at 17s and then $21 or more the rest of them. But Cool Archie, your favourite here, Hidden Achievements just...
Racing. The big field came out at a good line, bar Hidden Achievement. He was stone motherless last out of the gates. The Bear, one of the roughies, fast away. Sweet Pretender, Meet George showing speed. Right up there was Aerodrome, and not too far away, Talk to Be Sure. Grafterburners landing about 6th on the rail. Cool Archie, he's midfield and 3 wide but improving. Then Zootanium, Farnacle and Zebra Finch, followed by Talk to Be Sure. Then came Call Da Vinci. Hidden Achievement is now making the turn. 500 left to run. The Bear in front, but Aerodrome is closing. Meet George 3rd. Sweet Pretender gone. Cool Archie now starting to blend into the race. The Creek and Grafterburners coming wider. Where's Hidden Achievement trying to make ground towards the inside? Cool Archie raced up and hit the lead. Went by Aerodrome, then Hidden Achievement. Grafterburners, Farnacle, Providence running on. They're down towards the 200 metres. Cool Archie in front. Hidden Achievement is trying hard. Harley rides desperately. Cool Archie in front. Archie, can you make it the grand final? You can! He wins, Cool Archie. A Group 1 winning comp beat Hidden Achievement. 3rd over the line was Call Da Vinci and Providence was 4th. Then Aerodrome, Grafterburners, Talk to Be Sure. Navy Pilot, Farnacle, Meet George the Bear. Well back was the Creek. Then came Zebra Finch, Mortal Halo, and Sweet Pretender was last over the line.
A young star. His name is Cool Archie. All of the fallout from that wonderful win in a moment there. Cool Archie wins for the Munsers, and for Martin Harley, J-Mac puts on a clinic, ducks up the inside.
Trying to contain my excitement to the last 100 metres, I couldn't help myself.
What does it mean to win a JJ with a colt? Like, you've got a stallion now. He's a proper stallion.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so good for Max. You know, it's a great thrill for Max. But I really want to give credit to Martin Harley. You know, he's done a wonderful, wonderful job with this colt all the way along. And as I said before,
is our outright favourite. The next best backed is on the second line, and that is Floozy, albeit she's only got about 15% at $5 there in from $6.50. Abounding has been 10 into $7.50 to sit with Tashi. Olentia is at $8.50. 9 about City of Lights. Backed at odds actually is Gumdrops. There's some really nice each-way money there for the Chris Waller trained galloper. $61. But Firestorm would be a very bad result for us, particularly off the back of Cool Archie. Imagine what you could be buying in.
Set for the Dane Ripper. Group 2 for Magic Millions. Red light on. 1,300 metres. Ready to break. Racing. Jumping in a good line bar Coco Jambu, who then Coco Jambu, Comrade Rosa, Arctic Glamour to the outside, and Red Defcon whipped them in. Russian Lights tackled in earnest on the outside by Floozy. Elmazillo can't go with them. City of Lights getting up on the inside. Firestorm running on fairly well, then Conasada and Tashi finally getting out. But Floozy and Ange Jones broke clear, going for home in the Dane Ripper. Running on strongly, Tashi. 50 to go, Floozy in front. Needs the post, hanging on and wins. Floozy first, Tashi second, Firestorm third, Elmazillo fourth. Then came Gumdrop, City of Lights, followed by Abounding. Then Conasana, Russian Alliance, Coco Jambu, Comrade Rosa, Wellback Red Defcon, Arctic Glamour, and Olentia pulling up towards the tail.
Ange Jones, you thoroughly deserve that win. A huge Group 2 victory for Angela Jones. She does it for Tony Golan, who has supported her so well. And since this girl has made her way to...
With her so far, as you referenced, 4 wins this time around. And that was the biggest win of Ange. Runs in behind were very good. Tashi was great. Firestorm ticking along nicely. Elmazillo maybe had to do a bit too much work from the gate. The one that I want to highlight, though, Coco Jambu, had no luck whatsoever.
Yellow colours.
On the rail. Zach Lloyd in the end just ended up sitting up on her. She's one to watch for later on, which you would suggest would be the Tatt's Tiara in 2 weeks' time.
So there we go. Some 13 years ago, he has this New Zealander called Desert Lightning, who ran second in a New Zealand 2000 Guineas behind Pierre, who won earlier in the Spear Chief there for Desert Lightning. Well, James Cummings used the same race, ran third in the Kingsford Smith Cup, and then ended up...
This is our favourite War Machine. He's done a brilliant job so far this preparation. He opened his account in Queensland by winning, and he looks as though he's trained on really nicely from that last start performance.
Ali, let's have a look at the market for the great race, the Strap.
The all-important market here. So our favourite War Machine, Richo, has been $3.30, just out to $3.50. He's got about 26% of the overall investment here, and it's an even spread of money outside of him. Golden Mile has been 9 into $8.50. Transatlantic just now $9.50 out from $7.50. Our worst result here is Private Eye, who opened 16s, 13 this morning, now into $10, and he's our third best backed runner. 12 out to 14 for Rise at Dawn. Rothfire has been 17 into 16, 17 about Bazusto, 18 the instructor, and then $21 or more.
And here comes the favourite, War Machine, thundering up the centre of the track and going to a clear lead. Down below the 200 metres, War Machine leads. Private Eye is trying hard. It's War Machine in front, short of 100 to go. He's the leader. Flashing over the outside is Yellow Brick. War Machine gripping on. War Machine gives Hayes their first Stradbroke and wins. From on the outside, Yellow Brick running up, bombs the favourite. War Machine thundering up the centre of the track and going to a clear lead. Down below the 200 metres, War Machine leads. Private Eye is trying hard. It's War Machine in front, short of 100 to go. He's the leader. Flashing over the outside is Yellow Brick. War Machine gripping on. War Machine gives Hayes their first Stradbroke and wins. From on the outside, Yellow Brick running up Bottler. Then Private Eye, Desert Lightning, followed by the instructor, Payline, Basusto, Transatlantic, Rothfire, Rise at Dawn, the Inflictor, Golden Mile, Spicy Martini, Coleman, Far Too Easy, Punch Lane, Front Page and Robusto last over the line. Wow. War Machine. Favourite backers get paid. The Hayes family have never won a Stradbroke, but they're going home with one today. War Machine let loose by Clark, and he was happy to ride hands and heels. Front Page and Robusto last over the line.
A young star, so a sprinting young star emerges out of this race like it has in the past. When you think about it and Alligator Blood, Steffi Magnetica in the past. Brilliant win to War Machine. Great ride from Tim Clark. The Hayes boys for Rupert Lee win a Group 1 with War Machine, and I think that Mike Moroney would be looking down with a smile on his face. Well done. That was awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. Great ride as well from Tim Clark. He just was able to pinch a break at the top of the straight, and with that light weight on his back, he was able to really capitalise on that. It was so smart. Tim's been riding in such great fashion over 12 months now. He's been racking up winner after winner. Not only that, he's been able to come off of him. He was getting tired in the concluding stages, and Yellow Brick ran super. So did Private Eye with a big weight. He kicked back. Even the instructor kicked through on the inside with Desert Lightning. But you know what? It was a ride, a smart ride, lightweight, a progressive horse, and the rest is history.
Yeah, he covered a bit of extra ground because he knew what was up. When you look at the replay, Desert Lightning held up back on the rail, had nowhere to go, has ended up running fourth, but was set to be right in that finish. We're going to get you all the fallout, all the emotion of a wonderful win back here.
First Stradbroke, congratulations. What a horse.
He's an amazing horse. He's progressive, and we're very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to get a horse like this. Mike Moroney was a fantastic trainer, and to be able to hopefully get a result for him and his legacy is great. And also there's been a couple of owners in the group have had a bit of a tough time, the Wallace family, and for him to win today, I really hope makes them feel a little bit better. But he was running for them today.
Oh, you're so
for him and the whole team. And Lindsay Park is our first, Stradbroke. It's another Group 1 ticked off, and there's not many more to go. So got one up on
the screen, or visit the website.
Back to you with some market.
The screen, or visit the website.
Back to you with some market.
The screen, or visit the website.
Back to you with some market move. Attention to the Q22 as we're getting ready for our final race on Stradbroke Day, and
one-way traffic for him. He's rock solid there at the top.
So it's all about Faulkner Park, and why wouldn't it be? The defending champ looks.
Gates crash back. They're racing now, and the ghostly grey Bois Jean began the best. Showing early speed, nice and handy was Ozapenko. Banker's Choice driving through to be third. Militarize about fourth away, followed then by New Endeavour. He might be 3 wide as they hit that first bend. Faulkner Park, he'll settle third last in the first call. Artful Girl, the rank outsider, second last, and Kovalika is last of all. They gallop in fifth, 1 out and 1 back. Now, watching those 5 is the favourite Faulkner Park. Ethan Brown riding impatiently in the early and middle stages with Artfist. New Endeavour now moves up to be second, but he's done his share of work. He's used his share of petrol to get there. Back out. Faulkner Park just sitting back. Brown just smoking the pipe, waiting to make his move, biding his time, and Kovalika whipped them in. Down leads New Endeavour, who's trying to come after him. Bankful Girl. Now Faulkner Park starts to loop. 3 and 4 wide, but travelling into the picture and travelling into it strongly. And Kovalika tries to track him into the race. Durana, Bois Jean tackled by New Endeavour, and here comes the favourite, Faulkner Park, sailing up strongly on the outside and going to the lead. Kovalika giving game chase. Militarize only 1 batting. New Endeavour's in for the fight. He's had a tough rider. Can he burn the candle at both ends? Faulkner Park is flat out. Kovalika out wider. 3 in line. 50 metres to go. New Endeavour, Faulkner Park, Kovalika. Here comes the post. They hit it. I think New Endeavour lasted from Kovalika and Faulkner Park in a ripping finish to the Q22. Then Bois Jean, followed by Militarise Ozapenko, Artful Girl, and Banker's Choice last over the line.
What a race. Is it New Endeavour? Is it Kovalika? It's not Faulkner Park. He'll run third. It's a bobbing go. New Endeavour. Oh, has he been pipped on the line by Kovalika?
I reckon he could. To the naked eye at the moment, it looks as though Kovalika has spoiled the party, but we'll have to wait. On top of the ground certainly suited him, and you can see in the frame as well, there is also Faulkner Park putting his nose down. So this is awfully close, Richo. What a great finish.
What a great finish to an amazing race day. And the 4, Kovalika will win. So Chris Waller and Nash Rawiller will spoil the party and win his first race since winning the 2023 Queensland Derby. He's finally done it, and he's been up. And then just as Timmy Clark was about to salute for the 3rd time, Nash Rawiller picks his pocket with Kovalika.
I don't want to be cheeky, but there's life in the old boy yet, hey?
Yeah.
What a satisfying performance that must be for you.
Yeah, you're talking about me, or was our first winner all day, or the horse?
No, I'm talking about Kovalika. We know you are the master.
For all of us. He's a popular horse in the stable, not with the punters, but he's been working towards something good. His 2 runs up here have both been great. And
Australian trainer Kieran Ma, Chinese owned. Number 3 is Dancing Gemini, just touched off in the lock-inch. Kieran Schumacher back in the saddle. Aidan O'Brien. Aidan on 91 Royal Ascot winners beginning the week. Number 5 is Docklands, a winner of the Britannia in 2023, second in this last year. Mark Zara, the Australian rider, his first Royal Ascot ride for Harry Eustace.
5-2 favourite, and if we shop around this Royal Ascot Stock Exchange here, you can get 11-4, but generally a 5-2 shot, 9-2 Notable Speech, Lead Artist 5-1, Dancing Gemini 6-1, and at 7-1 Carl Sparker, and you can see
from the US. He's highly credentialed. He's 3-time Group 1 winner. But the track's going to be a lot different to what he's used to, 1 being a straight line and 2 with a bit of elevation. So, look, he's been here about
3 mile Royal Ascot 2025, about to get underway, and they're off and racing. Docklands a little slow into stride. Lead Artist jumps out prominently, and Coudoir in the yellow colours. Carl Spackler in the early pace is not that strong. Dancing Gemini in the stripes. Rosalian and Notable in the yellow colours, more towards the stand side. Behind those, on the outside, is Docklands of Lake Forest and Cairo as they're heading down towards halfway. Still sitting pretty, Coudoir out in front, yet to really press on. Lead Artist passive outside the leader in second. Dancing Gemini and Diego Velasquez. Notable Speech tracks the leaders with Carl Spackler. Rosalian still well back in the field with Lake Forest. Docklands edges closer, and then Cairo. So the pace yet to really pick up. Lead Artist the first one to apply a bit of pressure to Coudoir. Behind these in the stripes is Dancing Gemini. Notable Speech, Rosalian is now asked to improve. Notable Speech just looking for a gap towards the far side. Carl Spackler as well, and Notable Speech has to come right around them. First one to commit is Docklands on the far side. Rosalian, Carl Spackler. Notable Speech's rider drop the whip as they head towards the line. Rosalian and Docklands. Docklands narrowly second last year, one die this year, very close. Docklands and Rosalian, Cairo in third. All went wrong for Notable Speech. Lake Forest, Carl Spackler, Lead Artist, Dancing Gemini, Diego Velasquez and Coudoir. Docklands and Mark Zara, near side Rosalian, it is close. A drop of their heads on even strides. Rosalian was just in front, but fighting back on the far side, Docklands, and it is very close on the...
But when we watch again, he bobs now to go in front just before the line, but on the far side,
for first place in the
it
first
feels
race.
as if...
First, number 5, Docklands.
Docklands has won the Queen Anne.
Third, number 1. And
Docklands for Harry Eustace has his 3rd Royal Ascot winner, his first Group 1. And for Mark Zara, what a moment.
Well, as a jockey, when you lose your whip in the group...
Watching, I'm sure you're delighted as well. Docklands winning by a whisker. Rosalian.
And including the loss of the whip, the bob of the head.
Everyone kept scaring about the whip rules. I thought it was easy just to throw it away at the 200, but it was a very slow speed. And I just crept as much as I could, and we just got room at the right time, and he burst through and just kept responding, and it was such a tough effort.
Sums it up, what it would mean to all of them if Asfour was going to go and win her second King Charles III stakes. A sense of the occasion from then. There would have been a lot.
And did you collect?
If it only was that simple.
Another big field here for the King Charles III stake. They've gone for the blinkers for the first time, and they are back to try and win this race for a second time. The funny thing is, from 7 attempts at Group 1 come back down to the minimum.
Yeah, but who's come back down to run first time out at 5 furlongs in a Group 1 and manage?
Rodriguez, so it is Regional who's taken the early lead, also racing right outside the track, giving a lead to Believing in the early stages. Jasser is over on that far side group together with Kurdos, and so too is Balmoral. Now to Asfora, who has got every chance of retaining her crown. Regional is now being ridden along. Madakan is Star Lust is also picking up, so too now is Washington Heights, but on the near side it's Frost at Dawn and American Affair, and now the first two, Regional and Asfora staying on. Another 100 yards to go. American Affair ahead in front, racing towards the line. American Affair wins the race for Scotland. American Affair for Paul beats into second, Frost at Dawn, and then Regional was back, maybe getting third. Indeed, he has got third, then Starless from a long way back in has fourth. Indeed, he has got third, then Starless from a long way back in has fourth, who didn't get home, and Kurdos has run well.
Up towards the corner, 600 to go. It's Sassy Boom, the leader. By a length, here comes the Star. Terra Star behind them, third as the leaders try and sprint away. Next is Avebury, followed by Anahid and Adachi. Where's Splashback? Third last at the moment. Sassy Boom as they reach the 300 metres. Clicked up by Harry Coffey. 2 lengths, here comes the Star, Terra Star, then Avebury. Splashback still has 4 behind it. Sassy Boom, 200 metres to go. 2 lengths in front of Here Comes the Star, who's peppering away. And they were followed by Terra Star, and Splashback still coming. It might not be over. Sassy Boom stopping. Splashback from third last has got up. Oh, that's a big win. Splashback has won it from Terra Star, Sassy Boom. Here comes the Star, then Jazzafair, Molly Knickers. Back behind those horses, then Avebury, Wings of Song. Next to finish in the race, Anna.
Well, she's had the term stakes mare in waiting attached to her. Only stakes mares do that. She was barely in your TV, barely visible. Back, left, in the ruck, trying to get out, extricate from Molly Knickers, who'd been riding in the sidecar next to her for most of the first 1,200 metres of the race. Tom Preble, as Graham Begg spoke to us pre-race, it was about finding her clear air, letting her balance up. Balance up she did, and in the end, she's got a margin on the line from the likes of Terra Star and Sassy Boom, who looked all out.
Is ready. Starter has them and away. Silent shares away pretty well. Scampi out fast towards the outside. Sunsetting is showing speed too. Sorting out their order after 150 metres. Bowl Bastille is just going to lead. Sunsetting and also Bridal Waltz tucking in behind them in the orange. 2 further back. Silent shares. She's an Artist. Fieldello. Then came Expressio, Self Salsa, Fellow Scampi, Supercilious, and towards the end of the field, Savagery Vibe. So approaching the 600 metres. They're virtually splitting into 2 with 4 coming up the inside. Bowl Bastille leading, Sunsetting, Bridal Waltz, and also Silent Shares. She's an Artist leads the division up the outside, tracked by Fieldello, Expressio, Self Salsa, Fella and Scampi. 300 metres to go. It's Bowl Bastille, Sunsetting over on the inside with Bridal Waltz and She's an Artist. They're the 4 main chances. A gap, Fieldello followed by Scampi, but She's an Artist scampers to the front. 100 to go. She's an Artist is going to put pay to them. She's a good horse. She's an Artist has trotted in, won it by over 3. Fieldello, Bridal Waltz. They were followed by up for 4th, Savagery Vibe. Supercilious next, Scampi. Salsa Fellow, Sunsetting.
Well, there was a boom on both the fillies coming out of that Bendigo meeting on the final Friday in May. Handshakes for Jack Turnbull and the Kieran Maher team. Fieldello was the market elect. The market were keen also on She's an Artist. She was very well back late, and rightly so. $175,000 purchase at the English Premier Sale a couple of years ago. The daughter of trapeze artist for astute bloodstock, and astute purchase it certainly was. She has been simply dominant in the closing stages. Craig Williams in pursuit.
Tom Sherry and Andrew Mallion, or will it be this guy once again, James McDonald? Let's find out. He's alongside Emma talking about some of his key. A market, please, for the Tatt Tiara.
Well, Leslie, Floozy has been really well supported. I guess it would be the story of the day. She's looking for 5 out of 5, and of course Ange Jones looking for her Group 1, so we'll all be cheering her on. She's been well supported, now into $2.80, so $4 into $2.80 for our favourite. She does hold 37% of the market. However, Firestorm does hold more money. She holds 45%. She's our drifting original favourite, $4.60 out to $5 there.
Racing through, looking for the front. A bounding not too far away in the first call, then Tashi, followed by Zingerbell in front, Floozy up second, sitting 3/4 of a length behind the lead. 2 to a bounding and a good 5th of the half mile. Conisade of the rail. Tashi between runners, and Coeur Velote is doing it tough in the middle part, 3 and 4 wide. 2, second last, Coco Jambu and Infancy whip them in. The Tiara field, Thunders for home, 400 left to Rada. Grinzingerbell swiftly headed off, and Floozy ran to the lead. It's a long way up this Big Eagle Farm straight, but Floozy Floozy's making every post a winning post. Bubba's Bay is challenging. Here's Tashi in a bounding with a big baldy face joining in. Down below the 200. Floozy's all out and Tashi took the lead. Floozy battles on. Then came a bounding, but Tashi goes for home. It's Tashi's Tiara. Tashi raced away, beat a bounding. Photo third. Alentia Exotic miss. Floozy peaking late. Firestorm next, and then came Infancy. Bubba's Bay, followed by Samana, Coco Jambu, Grinzinger Bell. Well back was Konasana, El Mazzillo, Arctic Glamour, Zazu, and out towards the tail was Coeur Volante. And Tashi has had a great carnival. Today's the greatest, Group 1.
Certainly is. A sense of timing about Tashi, and of course for Tom Sherry, his first Group 1 victory. So fitting that it was able to be done in Australia, which he now calls home. Peter Snowden back into the Group 1 winners stall, and she has been so consistent, Tashi, all the way through. Look at what it meant for Tom Sherry.
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. So I'm just so thrilled for him to get his first Group 1 and to get it with such emphatic style too, to win it and win it comfortably and really lap up all the excitement over the line. Good on him. I'm absolutely rapt to see him take out his first Group 1. And you're right, she's been so honest, so consistent this preparation. She's been up a long time. So yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. So I'm just so thrilled for him to get his first Group 1 and to get it with such emphatic style too, to win it and win it comfortably and really lap up all the excitement over the line. Good on him. I'm absolutely rapt to see him take out his first Group 1. And you're right, she's been so honest, so consistent this preparation. She's been up a long time.